Hey everyone, welcome to Chess with Samir. Here we have another position as a part of our 100 puzzle series that we're doing. In this position, it's white to move and win. So what I would recommend you to do is pause the video right now and try to solve it on your own, and we'll solve it together shortly. Okay? All right, so the first thing that I recommend everyone to do is just count the material, okay? In this situation, we have 6 pawns for white, 6 pawns for black. There's 3 minor pieces on each side, and the material is completely equal, right? So nobody is up or down in any material. So there's a balance in that aspect of the position. Now, how do you even approach a position like this? If you're just starting out in chess and I tell you white to move and win, how do you even come up with a move, right? There needs to be some sort of a structure here. The first instinct is, okay, the king is here, my queen is here. Can I just take this pawn? This is a very natural instinct that anyone would have. However, as you all can see, there's a pawn here which is defending that pawn, so we can't do that immediately, right? This rook is defended, so we cannot take the rook either. A good first step is to just look at all the checks in the position. So here, what checks can we give? This is one check. Knight takes pawn check, which also attacks the queen. Okay. However, the problem is that black can just take back. And this pawn defends the bishop, so that's no good. This is another check. The problem here is that black just takes the queen. This capture is no good because the pawn is just going to take our queen, right? So how do you even come up with a plan here? What's the right thing to do? Look at all the captures in the position. One capture is queen takes pawn. It looks crazy, right? Why should I just give up my queen? Black's just going to say thank you very much, so that's no good, right? So the checks and captures are not really seeming very, very logical here for us. We don't have a clear path forward. This position, let me mention, it's not very easy. It's definitely an intermediate level position. So don't feel bad if you don't have the answer right away. It's not something that's very intuitive. Okay, so let's look at some patterns here. We see this pawn. If the knight lands here, we have a fork. So it would be really nice to get this to work. That's point number one. This pawn is defending this pawn. So we need to somehow distract that pawn. That's very important. This pawn is also defending this pawn. So this pawn on f7 is actually overloaded. Okay, that's the term. The pawn on f7 is overloaded. So what if we were to distract the pawn over there and then somehow do something on this square, right? So for example, can we distract this pawn to go there by taking with the queen? Of course not, right? We're not just going to give up our queen like that. But we could do it with our bishop, right? If you did not see this move, pause the video again. Try to see the next steps here, what can happen. Okay? Black obviously has to take. There's no other option. I'm threatening the rook. And if you move the rook somewhere, I'm just going to say thank you very much and something like that, and white should be winning, right? So you have to take the bishop. Okay, now what? Can I just take the pawn with the knight and pick up the queen? No, because black is going to take back with the bishop. And black is still up a piece here, right? So this is no good. However, white has a crazy move. Queen takes pawn. It looks insane because first I give up my bishop. Now I'm giving up my queen. right? What is going on? First of all, let's look at the threats. Okay, let's look at the threats in this position. White is threatening a bunch of stuff. For starters, I'm threatening the bishop. I'm threatening this bishop. Okay, so what do? The most natural response is just take the queen, right? If you take the queen, now I take with check and pick up the queen. So let's say king goes here, knight takes queen, and now you can count the material. White is up 2 pawns, right? White is up 2 pawns. And this is just a lost position. There's all kinds of threats. This check, picking up the knight, blah, blah, blah. Tons of things going on here. So after bishop takes pawn, black's only move is to take the bishop. White takes here. Black has literally no other move here than to take, because let's say you defend this bishop, I take this guy. If you defend this bishop, let's say like this, for example, I take this guy. So again, the only natural move here is bishop takes queen, knight takes check. Wherever the king goes, here, 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 I'm just going to pick up the queen. Oops, not like that. And this is just game over. So let's do a quick recap. We first looked at the checks. Checks did not work. Then we looked at the captures. In the captures, we found a good move, bishop takes pawn. Forcing this move. Then we found not this move, but this move, which basically forces this response. Takes, and then the game is over. So in this very complicated looking position, there is indeed a way to break through, and the answer is bishop takes g6. If you found it, congratulations, and I'll see you in the next puzzle. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.